It's legendary February at NBC and streaming on Peacock in just 4 days. Join the celebration as we kick off the Winter Olympics in Italy with the opening ceremony. And we are back live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 60. Let's continue the free agency chatter, of course, with the running backs here, guys. And the top of the list, Breece Hall. Still not even 25 years old. Potentially franchise tag this offseason.
What do you think happens with him?
I would think the favorite would be that they transition tag him.
Okay. So it'll be a New York Jet.
It would be a 1 year, $12 million deal back with the Jets.
Yes.
I mean, because wouldn't you just trade him at the deadline if that wasn't the plan?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
But
a well-run team would have done that.
We can never assume.
No.
So let's say the Jets don't tag him.
Yeah.
Where do we want him to go?
Do they have anyone on their roster that you think is potential that they
Isaiah
might
Davis
transition?
is a totally fine number 3 kick returner. Braylon Allen
that
was
they
hurt.
would use the transition or franchise tag on. That's what I'm saying. Is there another player?
Elijah Vera Tucker, their star but often injured guard.
Yeah.
Who's going to be your quarterback?
You tell me. Could have been one of the guys we just talked about, like Kyler Murray.
Tua.
It's going to be Kirk Cousins.
If there's any place Tua should play, it's MetLife
Who do you want him
in
to
the
draft?
Northeast.
Who do you want him to draft? Given Mendoza's not going to be on the option.
I would be careful how early you take Ty Simpson.
Okay.
There's things I like about Ty Simpson,
Didn't
but
go end great for Ty Simpson.
it did not end great.
Your man.
Yes.
I would almost
Roll Tide.
rather wait and see how late, like Garrett Nussmeier goes.
Okay.
You can't manufacture a quarterback class.
Yep.
There's not one there at 2,
Right.
and there's not one there at 2. I think 16 would even be a reach.
Yep.
It's the Jets. I hate to say it, but with where they are right now, it feels like they're on simulation mode after this year. Like I guess we'll see the plan, but what is the optimistic plan?
That's what
quarterback?
Brick has them doing.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
Simulation mode.
That's right. He knows a thing or two about that.
They'll get Kirk Cousins.
Awesome.
Talking about Breece Hall, man, can we give him a quick round of applause?
Can I say something? I have a theory that I'd like to float the two of you.
Yeah. Is Breece Hall going to retire? What's going on?
No.
Age 24 retiree.
Yeah. I don't think Connor Rodgers wants the Jets to have a good quarterback. I feel like if the Jets ever had successful, the Jets were ever successful, he'd be out of a job. Like I feel like he
Saying to be no content.
The turmoil is what keeps Badlands, the second best Jets podcast out there, employed.
No,
you do a post-game show for a Tim Boyle start and come back to me.
Yeah. No, we need a twist. We need a twist ending for Connor Rodgers. You've been doing the same material for the 2 decades now.
Let's
have a good team.
The hump.
Yeah.
These very Jets that we're talking about, Breece Hall ran for over 1,000 yards on this Jets team in 16 games on these Jets.
Yeah.
That's like Hall of Fame type stuff.
He looked more explosive to me, Connor, as well, certainly compared to the previous 2 years.
He's finally healthy now. He's got his legs under him. It would be a bad time to just give up on Breece Hall. That's what I wouldn't understand. But there'll be a ton of suitors if they ultimately do.
Could they trade him? Could they transition tag? Or,
you wouldn't get anything. The transition tag would open it up that you can only match. You'd have to franchise tag him.
If you franchise tag him,
who would trade that level of assets for a running back? They're just in a place where it
feels like it's not the most well-run organization.
Things are.
The more that I peel back the layers.
I don't know
be
about
honest
that.
with you.
All of a sudden, I'm questioning the plan.
Yeah, suddenly all the confidence I had in the Jets organization is starting to wither away.
I might not be
Geno Smith will be handing the ball to Breece Hall on the
Geno
return.
Yeah,
everyone's leaning in nostalgia right now. Let's go Geno Smith and green and white again.
Aaron Rodgers come back. All's forgiven, Aaron Rodgers.
All right, Kenneth Walker, good time to be a free agent. He is 25 years old, but, man, he's playing his best football right now, Lawrence, and this could be a guy that is cashing in at the right time.
Yeah, his two main biggest things really ever since he's come into the league was the injuries.
Yes.
Then it was the year after he came, or maybe 2 years after, Zach Charbonnet came into the fold. And now we've seen him these past few games without Charbonnet. We've seen that they heavily relied on him. We saw Sam Darnold throw for over 345 yards in that NFC Championship game, but that space was opened up by those runs. Kenneth Walker making people miss, showing what he could do. So if he does get out there on another team and he gets the opportunity to get a guaranteed 17 to 22 touches per game, he's never going to get that with Zach Charbonnet. That'll change his fantasy landscape greatly.
Sure, he's got 24 career games where he's had at least 18 touches. He's averaging 108 yards from scrimmage in those games. I like the over on his rushing attempts prop, by the way, in the Super Bowl. But I think the injury to Zach Charbonnet makes this more interesting because I think the idea was that they were probably going to move on from Ken Walker in the offseason. He'd be a free agent. But again, given that Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL and tore it late in the season.
You might have to bring him back.
I think you might have to bring him back, especially, by the way, if the Seahawks win the Super Bowl and Ken Walker's a big part of that. Feels weird to move on from a guy, especially for a franchise that looks like it's going to have an ownership change here in the next, So I don't know. It just feels like they're not going to want to rock the boat, especially if they win this, given the depth and, you're losing Clint Kubiak. I kind of feel like the Seahawks figured out a way to bring Ken Walker back.
For all the shortcomings of the quarterback free agency class, Jay, the running back class, assuming these guys aren't tagged, is pretty solid. Travis Etienne is next up on our board under Liam Cohen, another guy that had a really, really strong year. A little older than Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, but still in his prime.
Yeah, one of the quieter 1,100 rushing yards, 13 touchdown seasons you'll see. He had such a strange season. Coming in, it was like, is he even going to be the starter? Like, there were reports about Tank Bigsby, and then he gets traded, and then Breece Hall kept on waiting for him to emerge. But look, he's got the relationship and the rapport established with Trevor Lawrence going back to Clemson. Liam Cohen, one of the best run game designers in the league. And I think we kind of perhaps forget a little bit about it because they went out in the first round. This is one of the best offenses in the league over the second half. So I think that they will just want to run it back. And if they do, then Travis Etienne, I think he projects to largely replicate what he did this year. And the other good thing with Etienne is that he's able to stay healthy, which has been a problem in his career.
Without a doubt.
I think the Jaguars move on from Etienne. I think Breece Hall is going to be on a lot of sleeper lists next year. If you look at the advanced rushing metrics, and the Jaguars are one of the more advanced teams in terms of looking at analytics, looking at underlying data. Their co-owner, Tony Khan, owns True Media, which is a big data analytics company. Travis Etienne was like below average in like so many underlying metrics, and I feel like they try to get out ahead of it.
They kept on using him though.
I understand. I understand. Like, he was, quote, good. I'm just saying, as they sit here, 27 years old, has had some injury history. I'm just saying, and they have a young running back that they like. I don't think they pay. I think somebody's going to be willing to pay Travis Etienne more than the Jaguars. I think he's on a different team next year.
Okay.
Another guy coming off a monster season, Lawrence, Javonte Williams. I mean, this is one where it feels like for both parties, a return would be best to Dallas. Javonte really got his legs back under him in that Cowboys offense.
And this is a guy, myself included, I think he'd have been in a committee at best. He goes on to have his best year with the Cowboys, 1,200 rush yards, 11 touchdowns, running back 11 in fantasy points per game. So he was a guy you started every week once you figured out, like, hey, we got to start him. We didn't get the we didn't get the emergence from the rookie, Jaden Blue. Javonte Williams took it by the bullhorns, and I think I agree with you, Connor. You got to bring him back. He was a vital part of the offense, an offense that we thought was just going to throw the ball every play, but they really were reliant on Javonte Williams.
Yeah, in theory that makes sense, but with the Cowboys, they traded Micah Parsons. Like, you never know. I mean, again, they got 1,000 yards out of Rico Dowdle the year before, and they let him go. We all thought,
also a free agent.
Right, also a free agent, Rico Dowdle. He's definitely going to move on. He wasn't happy about the fact that after he has a couple of 200-yard games, they still let Chuba Hubbard back into the fold.
He had Chubler envy.
He did have Chubler envy.
Chubby envy.
Yeah. No, it's not good. And there's a chance we'll be talking to Rico Dowdle. There's a chance Rico Dowdle will become a friend of the show later this week.
How pissed were you?
Yeah. Do you have chubby envy?
Yes.
Man,
Jay, you can ask him that.
That's a great question.
You asked him that.
But Rico Dowdle quietly back-to-back years with over 1,000 yards, had two different games of 200 more yards, scrimmage yards. Like, here's the list. Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Rico Dowdle.
Right.
The only 4 running backs that had multiple games of 200 more yards from scrimmage. So, in the right opportunity, Dowdle's pretty interesting. He just doesn't seem to have the national cachet of some other running backs.
Plenty of talent in this class. Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad White, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Algier, Isaiah Pacheco, all also in this running back free agency class.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.